Hi YouTube, welcome back to Bookstack. So, the problem with reviewing the Poisonwood Bible is that I read it about 5 months and 14 books ago, but a promise is a promise, so I'm gonna do my best. The Poisonwood Bible. The Poisonwood Bible is the story of a missionary family from Bethlehem, Georgia, who go to the Congo in the late 1950s. When they arrive, they are laden down with things that they think they'll need. Cake mixes, pinking shears, needle and thread, aspirin tablets, Western beliefs. But they find when they get there that most of what they brought is superfluous, and some of it is actively transformed into something useless by the Congo. The cake mixes, for example, can't handle the humidity and become a hardened brick. As for their Western beliefs, we'll get to that in a minute. The family consists of a mother, 4 daughters, and their father. The father is a fiery Southern Baptist preacher who I believe has good intentions for his would-be congregation, but has no idea how to make his Western beliefs relevant. When they arrive in the Congo, he tries to plant a garden, which is first swamped by the torrential rains, and even when he adopts the local practice of planting in hills instead of flat rows, the plants flourish but fail to set fruit because African pollinators have no idea what to do with a Kentucky wonder bean. Do you think it's a metaphor? I think it might be a metaphor. Spock, do you think it's a metaphor? Yes, that is a perfectly logical conclusion. And so too with the Congolese congregation. By the end of the book, Tata Price is a wandering madman who can do very little but shout, "Jesus is Bangala!" Which, depending on how you say it, either means Jesus is precious or Jesus is Poisonwood. The story is seen mostly from the perspective of 4 very different daughters. Kitty tail! Everyone meet Simon! He likes to be part of the video making process. Rachel, the blonde all-American princess. Leah, too smart for her own good. Her twin sister Ada, mute, deformed, and ever watchful. And Ruth May, the complete innocent. And through their eyes you see 4 very different Africas, particularly Rachel and Leah, who stay there and grow up through the latter half of the 20th century. Rachel becomes part of the white aristocracy in South Africa and caters to the oppressors, while Leah marries an African and dedicates herself to the cause of free Congo, hopeless though it may be, through all of their trials and tribulations. In the backdrop to our family's story, we have the Congo struggling to throw off decades of Belgian rule. They have a democratic election and elect Prime Minister Mobutu, who is entirely too charismatic and inspiring to the Congolese people for the comfort of those who would keep the Congo oppressed. So he was executed, and this sends the country, and by extension the Price family, into turmoil. I read a book later about the 1960s, and it had a chapter on the Congo and their struggle for freedom, and I remember who the first Prime Minister of the Congo was and when he was executed, not because I read this book, but because I read this book. We remember emotional stories and personal stories much more firmly than we remember historical facts on their own. And that's what makes great historical fiction. When you can tell a story through the eyes of people who you care about, it helps us to connect to and learn from history. In the wake of World War II, countries across the world were struggling to escape traditional colonialism. And if you look at the current situation across Africa, some more successfully than others. Because when traditional colonialism falls, a different kind of colonialism takes its place, a colonialism of the economy. New infrastructure was built, but not to serve the people, more to serve the interests of those who wished to mine and strip the country of its riches. To quote Barbara Kingsolver, "Poor Congo, barefoot bride of men who took her jewels and promised the kingdom." Next week I'll be reviewing a book I just read because it made quite an impression. Pigtopia by Kitty Fitzgerald. Stay tuned! Is a kitty, you are a kitty cat. Kitty, kitty, you like to wear a hat. Kitty, kitty.
I don't think he does.
I don't think that's true.